Morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel, Total Health Reform. I am truly blessed to be here this morning to share a word of encouragement and my devotional thought for today. And I hope that you will be blessed by it. Amen. Today, we're going to talk about fighting with God. Who fights with God? I definitely do. The struggle is real. According to the book of Genesis, chapter 32, verse 24, it says here, Then Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until the breaking of the day. Amen. One of my favorite Bible stories. Amen. Let's get to it. Perhaps Jacob believed that his worst fears had come true. That night, before he crossed the Jordan, he probably thought that the man that he was fighting was his brother Esau. They hadn't seen each other for years. So, in the dark and in the fear of the night, Jacob didn't understand who he was really fighting. He was used to handling situations and getting his way by using his cleverness. Jacob knew how to depend on himself. Many of us are the same way. Jacob knew how to depend on himself and achieve what he wanted at any cost. Accustomed to living like this, he fought with all his might against the man until dawn. Then, as dawn was breaking, right, the visitor revealed his true nature and that of the struggle. Do you know that Jacob was like Paul? Fighting with God, according to Acts chapter 26, verse 14. Then stretching out his hand, guess what God did? God touched Jacob's hip and dislocated it. Sometimes God has to touch us and dislocate a member of our body to get our attention. But why did they fight all night, you may be asking? God could have won that fight in what? 3 seconds. He could have came, touched Jacob's hip, knock him out, and it was done. However, Jesus chose to fight him all night by limiting his strength so that Jacob could face him. For what? Perhaps for Jacob to be tired enough to, to really admit his spiritual defeat. The famous English preacher Charles Spurgeon commented that Jacob thought the real enemy was outside of himself, that it was Esau. But guess what? The true enemy was his own carnal nature, which which had not been conquered by God. Right? Exhausted, Jacob finally admitted that he could not do it alone and he needed help. Whose help did he need? He needed God's help. Clinging to the visitor, he said, I will not let you go unless you bless me. That should be our motto to God. I will not let you go, God, until you bless me. According to Genesis 32, verse 26. So in that moment of weakness and absolute need, Jacob achieved his greatest victory. And did you see what I say? In that moment of weakness and absolute need, Jacob achieved his greatest victory. There is a battle. There is a battle that is fought in our hearts daily. Daily. In the book Steps to Christ by Ellen G. White, it described it in these words. The warfare against self is the greatest battle that was ever fought. The warfare against self is the greatest battle that was ever fought. The yielding of self. surrendering all the will to God. It requires a struggle, daily struggle. But guess what? The soul must submit to God before it can be renewed in holiness. As strange and painful as it seems, God blesses us as He touches the joints and reveals the spiritual nature of the fight, our daily struggle. Lord, I beg you to exhaust the forces and resources I use to fight you. Exhaust them, God, so I don't continue to struggle in vain. I need your help, God. Daily, the struggle is real. Please bless me because I can't do anything without you. I can't live this life without you. I hope you're blessed by this morning's devotional. Have a blessed and beautiful day. The struggle is real.